Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel named Godfrey Story Time. And today's video is about a young woman who grew up in her father's flower shop, a small place full of roses, sunflowers, and memories of her childhood. After her father married Linda, that's her stepmother, Sarah began to notice secrets and lies that threatened everything her family had built. This is the story of how she uncovered the truth, to, to stood up for her father and protect the life he loved. So kindly let's get into the story, and if you are new here, kindly subscribe to this channel for more videos. So let's listen to this story.
My name is Sarah, and I'm 32 years old. This is the story of how my stepmother tried to steal my inheritance, and how I made sure the truth came out. My dad owned a small flower shop in our town. It wasn't fancy, but it was special. He started it when I was just a baby, and I grew up between the roses and sunflowers. The smell of fresh flowers always reminded me of him. When I was 16, my mom died. It was very sad. My dad was alone for 3 years. Then he met Linda at a community garden. She seemed nice at first. She smiled a lot and brought us cookies. She told my dad she loved flowers just like he did. They got married when I was 20. I had already moved out by then. I had my own apartment and worked as a teacher at an elementary school. But I still visited my dad every week. We would have lunch together at the flower shop, and he would tell me stories about the customers. Linda was always sweet when my dad was around. But when he left the room, she changed. Her smile disappeared. Her voice got cold. "You know, Sarah," she said to me one day, "your father doesn't need you coming around so much. He has me now." I felt my heart hurt, but I didn't say anything. I just smiled and left. My dad got sick 2 years after they married. The doctors said it was his heart. He couldn't work at the shop anymore. He stayed home most days, resting in his favorite chair. I came to visit more often. I helped him with his medicine. I cooked his favorite soup. Linda didn't like it. "Stop treating him like a child," she would snap at me when Dad couldn't hear. "I'm his wife. I take care of him." But I noticed things. His medicine bottles were sometimes empty too soon. His favorite foods were never in the kitchen. He looked thinner every time I saw him. One afternoon, I found my dad sitting in the shop's back room. He looked so tired. He held my hand and said something that scared me. "Sarah, I need to tell you something important. The shop, this building, everything. I'm leaving it to you. It's in my will. I made sure of it years ago." "Dad, don't talk like that," I said, feeling tears come to my eyes. "No, listen. I want you to have it. This shop is your history. Your mother and I built it together. It should be yours." He squeezed my hand. "Linda doesn't know, and I want to keep it that way for now. Can you promise me you won't tell her?" "Promise." But I felt worried. Why didn't he want Linda to know? 3 months later, my dad died. Happened so fast. One day he was talking and laughing. The next day he was gone. My heart broke into a million pieces. I cried for days. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I just kept remembering his smile and his hugs. The funeral was small. Just some family and friends from the neighborhood. Linda wore black and cried loudly. People hugged her and said kind things. But I saw something strange. When people weren't looking, Linda checked her phone. She smiled. A real smile, not a sad one. After the funeral, we met with my dad's lawyer, Mr. Peterson. He was an old man with kind eyes and gray hair. He had known my dad for 20 years. We sat in his office. Linda sat across from me. She wore sunglasses even though we were inside. Mr. Peterson opened a folder and started reading the will. "To my daughter Sarah, I leave my flower shop, the building it sits in, and all the money in my savings account." Felt shocked. I knew Dad wanted me to have the shop, but I didn't know about the money. Linda's mouth opened. She stood up fast. Her chair fell backward. "What? That's impossible. I'm his wife. He told me I would get everything." Mr. Peterson looked at her calmly. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Collins. But this is the will your husband signed 4 years ago. Everything is legally documented. Linda's face turned red. This is wrong. Sarah tricked him. She's a liar. That old man didn't know what he was doing. I felt anger grow in my chest, but I stayed quiet. Mrs. Collins, Mr. Peterson said firmly, I can assure you that your husband was completely aware of his decisions. He came to this office by himself and insisted on these arrangements. Linda grabbed her purse. We'll see about this. I'm getting my own lawyer. This isn't over. She stormed out. The door slammed so hard the walls shook. I sat there shaking. Mr. Peterson poured me a glass of water. Are you all right, Sarah? I don't understand, I said. Why is she so angry? Dad took care of her. She lived in his house. She had everything she needed. Mr. Peterson sighed. Some people always want more. The next week, Linda did exactly what she said. She hired a lawyer. His name was Mr. Drake, and he was known for winning difficult cases. He sent me a letter. It said Linda was going to challenge the will. She claimed my dad wasn't thinking clearly when he wrote it. She said I had manipulated him because of his illness. I felt sick reading those words. Manipulated. My dad was the smartest, kindest man I knew. He loved me. He wanted me to have the shop. But I was scared. What if the court believed her? What if I lost everything my parents built? I called Mr. Peterson. What do I do? We fight back, he said. And we tell the truth. The court date was set for 2 months away. During that time I couldn't focus on anything. I went to work and taught my students, but my mind was always somewhere else. Then something strange happened. I was cleaning out the shop's storage room, looking through old boxes. I found a small notebook hidden under some gardening tools. It was my dad's handwriting. I opened it and started reading. It was a diary. My dad had written in it every few days for the past 2 years. My hands started shaking as I read. March 15th. Linda asked me about changing my will today. She wants everything left to her. She says Sarah doesn't need the shop because she has a job. I told her no. The shop belongs to Sarah. Linda got very angry and didn't speak to me for 2 days. Kept reading. April 3rd. Linda told me she's been taking extra shifts at the hospital where she volunteers. But I saw her credit card bill. Expensive restaurants. Shopping trips. She's spending so much money. I don't understand where she really goes. More pages. June 20th. I'm worried about Linda. She keeps asking about my savings account. How much money do I have? Where is it kept? I changed my passwords today. I don't feel safe. The last entry was from 1 week before he died. August 1st. I caught Linda looking through my desk. She was searching for my will. When I asked what she was doing, she lied. She said she was cleaning. But I know the truth now. She never loved me. She loved what I could give her. I'm glad Sarah will have everything. She deserves it. She's the only one who truly cared. Tears fell on the pages. My poor dad. He knew. He knew the whole time. I took the notebook to Mr. Peterson immediately. He read it carefully, his expression getting more serious with each page. Sarah, this is evidence. This shows your father's state of mind. It proves he was thinking clearly and that he had good reasons for his decisions. Can we use it in court? Yes. Absolutely. But I wanted more. I wanted to know the truth about Linda. Where was she really going all those times? What was she doing? I remembered something my dad wrote. The credit card bills. I went back to the house. Technically it was Linda's house now since the will only gave me the shop and the savings. Linda was out. I still had my key from when Dad was alive. I know I shouldn't have gone in, but I needed answers. I found the bills in a drawer in the bedroom. Just like Dad said, there were charges from expensive restaurants, clothing stores, and hotels. Hotels. Why would Linda need hotels? She lived right here. Then I saw something else. The hotels were all in the next city over, about an hour away.
Hello guys, so we are halfway through the story, and if you are new here, kindly subscribe to this channel as I said earlier on. Let's go on listening to this story.
And the charges were always on weekdays, always during the afternoon. I took pictures of everything with my phone. Then I left quickly, my heart beating fast. I showed Mr. Peterson. He nodded slowly. This suggests she was living a separate life your father didn't know about. But we need more to really prove anything. Had an idea. It wasn't nice, but neither was what Linda was doing to my dad's memory. I hired a private investigator. His name was Marcus. He was recommended by a friend who worked with the police. I need to know where Linda goes during the day, I told him. I need to know what she's doing. Marcus nodded. I'll find out. 2 weeks later he called me. You need to see this. We met at a coffee shop. He showed me photographs. My stomach felt sick. Linda, smiling and laughing with a man. Not just any man, she was holding his hand, kissing him. They were at restaurants, walking in parks, going into hotels together. How long has this been going on? Yes. Based on what I could find, at least 3 years. Maybe longer. 3 years. That meant she was seeing this man while my dad was alive. While he was sick. While he needed her. There's more, Marcus said. He showed me another document. This man's name is Richard Vance. And look at this. It was a marriage certificate. Linda and Richard had gotten married. 1 month after my dad died. She married him 1 month later. I felt like I couldn't breathe. But she's still legally married to my dad's name. How can she marry someone else? She can't, Marcus said. Which means this second marriage isn't legal. But it shows her intentions. And it shows she was planning this for a while. The court date finally came. I wore a simple black dress. Linda wore an expensive suit I'd never seen before. Probably bought with Dad's money. Her lawyer spoke first. He painted me as a greedy daughter who manipulated a sick old man. He said my dad wasn't thinking clearly because of his medication. He made me sound like a villain. I felt so angry I could barely sit still. Then it was our turn. Mr. Peterson stood up. He was calm and professional. Your Honor, I'd like to present evidence that shows Mr. Collins was absolutely clear-minded and had very good reasons for his decisions. He showed the court my dad's diary. He read several entries out loud. Linda's face went pale. Then he showed the credit card bills, the hotel charges, the expensive purchases. This shows that Mrs. Collins was living a lifestyle that Mr. Collins was not aware of. A lifestyle funded by his money. Linda's lawyer objected. This is irrelevant to the will. The judge shook her head. I'll allow it. Continue. Mr. Peterson then showed the photographs. Linda and Richard together, holding hands, kissing. These photographs were taken while Mr. Collins was still alive. Mrs. Collins was having an affair during her marriage. The courtroom was completely silent. Finally, Mr. Peterson showed the marriage certificate. Mrs. Collins married Richard Vance 1 month after Mr. Collins passed away. This shows a pattern of deception and betrayal. Linda stood up. Those pictures are fake. You're lying. The judge banged her gavel. Mrs. Collins, sit down. Linda's lawyer looked defeated. He whispered something to Linda. She shook her head angrily. The judge looked at all the evidence. She read my dad's diary entries again. She looked at Linda with disappointment. I've seen enough, the judge said. Mr. Collins was clearly of sound mind when he made his will. The evidence shows he had very good reasons for his decisions. Furthermore, Mrs. Collins's behavior during and after the marriage raises serious questions about her intentions. She turned to Linda. Your challenge is denied. The will stands as written. Everything goes to Sarah. Linda screamed. Actual screaming. This is unfair. I deserve that money. I took care of him. The judge's face got stern. Mrs. Collins, you committed fraud by marrying another man while still legally married. I'm referring this case to the district attorney's office. Linda's face went white. Her lawyer grabbed her arm and pulled her toward the door. As they left, Linda turned and looked at me with so much hate. "You'll regret this, Sarah." But I didn't feel scared. Felt free. The story didn't end there. Linda was charged with bigamy. That's when you marry someone while you're still married to someone else. She had to pay a fine and spent 6 months in jail. Richard left her after he found out she'd lied to him too. She told him my dad had left her everything, and they were going to be rich. The house had to be sold because it was part of the legal mess. Linda got nothing. Kept the flower shop. I quit my teaching job and ran it full-time. It was hard work, but I loved it. Every morning when I unlocked the door, I felt close to my dad again. I planted a special garden in the back. Roses for my mom. Sunflowers for my dad. They grew big and beautiful. One year after everything happened, I was arranging flowers when an old woman came in. "Are you Sarah?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am. Can I help you?" She smiled. "I was your father's friend. I came to his shop for 20 years. He talked about you all the time. He was so proud of you." My eyes got watery. "Thank you for telling me." "He told me once that you were his greatest treasure, more valuable than any shop or any money. He said you had a good heart." After she left, I sat in my dad's old chair in the back room. I thought about everything that happened. Linda tried to take what wasn't hers. She lied and cheated and hurt people. But in the end, the truth came out. My dad taught me something important without even knowing it. He taught me that doing the right thing matters. That honesty matters. That love is more important than money. I didn't get revenge because I was angry. I got justice because it was right. The flower shop is still open today. It's been 5 years now. I'm married to a wonderful man named James who helps me run it. We're expecting our first baby next month. I'm going to teach my child the same lessons my dad taught me. Be honest. Be kind. Stand up for what's right. And when people try to take what isn't theirs, don't fight with anger. Fight with truth. Because the truth always wins in the end. Every night before I close the shop, I water the roses and sunflowers in the back garden. I talk to my mom and dad like they're still here. I kept it safe, I tell them. I kept our family's story safe. And somewhere I know they're proud of me. That's my story. Not about revenge, really. About protecting love and truth and family. And about understanding that the best way to honor the people we love is to live the way they taught us, with honesty, courage, and grace.
Okay guys, so this is the end of the story, and kindly subscribe to Godfrey's Story Time for more revenge stories. Thank you for watching this video. And don't forget to like and comment below. Thanks.